Okay. Alright, this one, I don't know, the last one wasn't, I think that last one was recycled. I don't know about this one.
In the heart of an arid desert, towering robots appeared under the blazing sun, their metal exteriors gleaming.
This one looks new.
Equipped with solar panels, they absorbed sunlight, converting it into energy to fuel their operations.
It's huge. You can already tell the feathers are placed really far from each other.
People from nearby villages gathered at a distance, curious yet cautious about the machines.
Like, look, I don't even have to slow down in this one so far.
The robots drilled deep into the ground, searching for traces of water hidden beneath the desert sands.
Yeah, this one's big. And it does look new. I've never seen this quarry before.
To everyone's surprise, they pumped water up to the surface, filling shallow basins they had constructed. As the basins filled, the robots planted saplings along the edges, creating a ring of green around each water source. Sun-powered sprinklers began to spray a fine mist over the young plants, keeping them hydrated.
Okay.
Slowly, grasses and shrubs took root, stretching across the once barren land in delicate green patches.
Oh, almost.
Desert animals, thirsty and curious, started to approach the oases, drawn by the scent of fresh water.
Yeah, I think this is all voiced by AI, man. This is crazy.
Birds flew down to drink from the pools, their colorful feathers a bright contrast against the sand.
This one was really far.
As more water was pumped, the robots planted hardy desert trees, providing shade for creatures and travelers. People marveled at the transformation, watching as cacti, flowers, and palms grew in the once barren desert.
Tents?
Streams formed, winding through the sand and creating new pathways for animals to follow. Children laughed as they watched rabbits, gazelles, and desert foxes drink from the oasis pools.
How you go from like western buildings, wooden buildings?
With the water systems in place, each oasis became a small ecosystem, full of life and energy.
To medieval looking tents that...
The robots planted tall grasses, which rustled in the wind, creating a soothing sound across the landscape.
look like they're supposed to be representative of...
Insects and small creatures, drawn by the plants and water, made homes in the sandy soil.
Native American tents, but bro, it's not even close. Because I saw like a totem pole over there. But these tents, bro, what the
Birds
hell, man?
began to build nests in the growing trees, filling the oases with the sounds of chirping and fluttering
Also,
wings.
what is that in the back over there?
Word of the desert oases spread, and people from far-off towns came to witness the miracle. The robots continued, moving further into the desert to create even more oases, each one a haven of green. As they worked, they monitored the ecosystems, ensuring each oasis stayed balanced and self-sustaining. People marveled at the way the robots harnessed the sun's power to bring life to the arid wasteland. Every sunrise revealed new growth, more plants reaching toward the light. The desert transformed. The once empty sands now boasted patches of green and blue, like jewels scattered across the dunes.
Hang on, I want to see what this is real quick. What is this big-ass towering building over here? Randomly, like, it's so out of place in this level. What the hell was it? Jeez, the freaking... The draw distance is pretty bad. Oh, there it is. Okay. Like, I'll probably just crash, because when you crash, it like respawns you at the last feather you collected. So at least that way I could just pick up the last one. What does that say? The snake oil cure-all? Yeah. Yeah, what is this, bro? It's like a huge disconnected bridge, I guess? It's so weird. It makes no sense in this level. This level's huge. Yep, I don't know. Alright, let me just crash. Oh, you can't. Cool. You go through it. Wonderful. Wow. Oh my god, it has no hitbox. That's dumb. Alright, I guess I gotta crash it to the ground. There you go, okay. Alright, so the last feather's right there. Oh look, there was one right here too, closer. Huh.
And as the robots moved on to new projects, the desert oases remained, thriving reminders of nature and
technology working together. It's funny because what it reminds me of, those towers, is that like like the levels like in Halo that have like those towers where there's like the out of bounds points of the map in multiplayer, where if you go, they like start lasering you.
In a remote, icy mountain range, massive robots appeared, their frames covered in frost as they moved through the snow.
Oh, look at that. This is the level.
The people living in the small nearby village watched in awe, wondering what these machines were doing so far up in the frozen peaks.
I think this is the level that I was talking about.
With precision, the robots used their sensors to analyze snow buildup, scanning for signs of potential avalanches. When they detected unstable snow layers, they released gentle bursts of heat to safely melt dangerous accumulations. Villagers breathed a sigh of relief, knowing the risk of avalanches was being managed by these silent giants. Some robots climbed up the cliffs, using sturdy arms to anchor sections that threatened to break away. Each robot worked tirelessly, inserting metal stakes and supports into loose rock to prevent it from tumbling down the mountain. They mapped out the safest paths, marking trails with beacons for hikers and climbers who ventured into the icy terrain.
I think it's it. I don't remember it exactly, but I believe so.
On steep, treacherous slopes, the robots installed warning systems that activated in case of snow shifts or ice cracks.
Because I remember there being like this like river cutting through the middle of the level.
As the weeks passed, the villagers grew to trust the machines, grateful for the added safety in their daily lives.
I guess I'll find out. If there's like a giant lake at the end, then...
Adventurers who traveled to the region were delighted to find safer paths for exploring the rugged landscape. The robots mapped out intricate cave systems hidden beneath the glaciers, revealing routes no human had ever seen.
Yeah, I think this is it. It just looks a little bit different.
Deep within these ice caves, they placed small lights to guide explorers, illuminating the breathtaking crystal walls. The robots even built small emergency shelters in hard-to-reach areas, stocked with basic supplies and heaters.
So he's just chilling in the frozen lake?
Climbers marveled at the robots' skill and precision as they transformed treacherous routes into manageable paths.
Yeah, he has like blades on top of his arms too.
During the night, the robots scanned for weather patterns, warning villagers of potential storms with an early alert. Using specialized sensors, they identified weak points in glaciers, stabilizing sections that could collapse without warning.
Okay, now it looks like this is the dead end. Yeah, this is literally the level. Is that like a smiley face on the tree? Yo. It is. So yeah, and I gotta turn around and basically go backwards. Yeah, this is literally the same level. It just looks a little bit different. But this is it. Like, I remember there being like a shack, I think, towards the end here, but...
Mountain goats and other wildlife began to gather near the reinforced cliffs, instinctively trusting the safer terrain.
But this is literally how the level should have been in that previous game, where it starts from the beginning, not you having to come all the way over here and then start from here and then go all the way to the beginning.
As snowfall increased, the robots worked around the clock, clearing paths and reinforcing new snowdrifts.
Like, I feel like that was probably just a mistake where they put the starting point in the wrong place. I'm guessing. I don't know.
The village school children watched from a distance, amazed at how the robots braved the bitter cold to protect their home.
There's random giant candy canes by the fence? Like, what is this, bro?
Villagers noticed that with the robots' help, their homes and roads were safer, even during the harshest winters.
It's, like, supposed to be the North Pole or something, but there's, like, no other buildings or... I don't see reindeer or elves or Santa.
Tourists and adventurers flocked to the area, eager to explore the safer paths that led to hidden wonders.
And the story that's being told is, like, so far from what this area looks like.
The robot's presence brought new life to the village, with visitors marveling at the icy beauty now accessible to all.
There's literally no caves with lights. There's literally no village.
One final day, the robots placed a map of the entire mountain range at the village entrance, detailing all safe trails.
Like, there's mountains, it's icy, but that's about it.
With the cliffs stabilized and the avalanche risk controlled, the robots moved on, leaving the villagers safer and
grateful for the guardians of their frozen peaks. Okay. Interesting. Like I said, the story, not great. Doesn't really make sense. It's interesting. It's kind of creative, you know, but like, you know, sometimes it's just like, bro.
One misty morning, villagers by the river watched in awe as towering robots arrived along the riverbanks.
Bro.
The robots, with their gleaming metallic frames, began moving slowly and deliberately, studying the water and the surrounding land.
Yo.
Using precise, gentle movements, they scooped trash from the water, removing bottles, plastic bags, and other waste.
It's a giant box. For a second, I thought he was like looking at like plans or blueprints.
Each piece of debris was sorted and carefully placed in designated containers for recycling or safe disposal. As the robots worked, the water gradually cleared, revealing shimmering reflections and the sandy riverbed below. Small fish cautiously returned to the cleaner water, darting between the rocks with renewed energy. Along the shore, the robots placed clusters of aquatic plants, creating habitats where fish could feed and spawn. Birds perched along the newly restored banks, diving into the water to catch fish that hadn't been seen in years.
Yo, this place.
Frogs and turtles made their way back, finding shelter and food in the revitalized ecosystem.
This is like pollution, dilapidated buildings, like, bro.
The robots moved further upstream, clearing debris from hidden creeks and restoring natural channels.
It's like these smokestack towers.
As they worked, they used advanced sensors to identify areas prone to flooding during heavy rains.
Sensors.
To address this, they constructed levees and barriers, building flood control systems that blended with the landscape. They dug channels to redirect excess water, creating small basins to absorb rain during storms. Villagers watched in relief, knowing their homes were now protected from the devastating floods they had feared. To further stabilize the area, the robots planted native trees and grasses along the riverbanks. The roots of these plants held the soil in place, preventing erosion and keeping the water clear. Fish populations grew as the river flourished, with bass, trout, and smaller species now thriving. Along the lakeside, robots built sheltered coves, perfect nesting spots for birds, and habitats for amphibians. Children played by the water's edge, marveling at the fish and frogs that now shared the river with them. With the flood control systems in place, villagers could rest easy, even during the heaviest rains. As each season passed, the riverbanks transformed into lush landscapes of green and blue, teeming with life.
Alright, just 4 more.
Otters, beavers, and herons made their homes along the shore, adding to the diversity of the ecosystem. The robots continued monitoring the area, ensuring that water levels stayed balanced and habitats thrived. By the time they moved on, the river had become a safe, vibrant resource for the community and wildlife alike.
What community, bro?
Villagers waved goodbye to the robots, grateful for the restored river that would bring life and security for generations to come.
Okay. I literally saw no village there. That was level 7, though. Now we're up to level 8, so there's 3 more, 8, 9, and 10. This one's actually fairly quick. It's probably gonna be less than an hour. Oh, this level is definitely familiar.
In the heart of a frozen, icy landscape, robots arrived, their metallic bodies gleaming against the snow.
Yeah, this level's huge, so it's gonna be another one of those.
They trudged carefully through the snow, setting up research stations at key points across the barren tundra. The robots built shelters with advanced heating systems to withstand the relentless freezing temperatures. Inside these shelters, they installed equipment to measure wind speeds, temperature fluctuations, and ice thickness. Every day, the robots transmitted climate data to scientists around the world, highlighting the urgency of melting ice caps.
Okay, I mean, it's actually going through a pretty
Local
quick.
wildlife, including seals and polar bears, curiously watched the robots, unbothered by their quiet presence. The robots used infrared sensors to detect movements, ensuring they never disturbed any creatures in their habitat.
This one's kind of far.
In areas where ice was thin, they placed warning markers to prevent animals from wandering into dangerous spots. To support endangered species, the robots created small shelters that provided warmth and protection from harsh winds. These shelters helped young animals survive brutal storms, giving them a safe place to rest and recover.
Oh, look at that. You have to kind of do a 180. That doesn't make sense, but yeah, that happens a lot in these games. Like, if you don't see it directly in front of you, or like kind of to the left or to the right.
Penguins huddled around the robots during severe weather, finding comfort in their gentle warmth.
It's usually a good idea to kind of turn around until you see it.
The robots even created small pools by breaking thin ice layers, offering fresh drinking water to passing animals. When monitoring equipment indicated signs of rapid melting, the robots immediately reinforced nearby ice formations. They used special materials to stabilize the ice, reducing the risk of sudden collapse and protecting animal habitats. Their sensors tracked migration patterns, relaying data on animal movements to scientists across the globe. As they gathered data, the robots identified specific areas where human intervention could help slow climate effects. This information was shared with local governments and environmental agencies, creating a network of solutions. The robots created digital maps of glacier changes, documenting the retreat of ice and the rise of sea levels. These maps were essential for scientists studying climate impact and predicting future shifts in frozen regions.
What the hell is the next one? Bro.
Local populations visited the robots, learning about their work and how to protect their fragile environment.
How random is this? It's like a church steeple. And the church is covered. I mean, like, I'm not saying it's not possible for it to be covered in snow like that, but like a whole like mountain of ice? I mean, I don't know. That seems a little bit.
The robots showed locals how to set up solar-powered stations to reduce reliance on fossil fuels. Each research station became a beacon of hope, drawing scientists, researchers, and environmentalists from around the world. The once quiet frozen lands buzzed with activity, all working toward the same goal of preservation. As the robots continued their tasks, the region slowly adapted to support both life and research. The robots' work ensured that even in the harshest conditions, a future for these frozen landscapes was still possible.
Oh, look at that. That one actually ended properly.